2, 1. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Comhra. I'm Melissa Mackin, and I'm from Youth Work Ireland, Cavan Monaghan. And I have the young people here who are from Monaghan Comhraile and Nog. And today is Thursday, the 22nd of April, and it is World Earth Day. So, on these conversations, we try to talk about issues and topics that are important to young people. And this month, we're talking about the environment, about climate, all those types of things. So it's all things eco. And because it's World Earth Day, we thought it was appropriate to talk today. So Ronan and Gabia and Jamie are going to do different presentations for us about that things that are important to them around the environment and eco stuff. So I'm going to hand you over to Ronan. Ronan's up first and he's going to share his screen.
Yep. Go. Okay, so I'm doing my part on sustainable transport and particularly on what's being done in the world, what we can do, and just all that sort of stuff. So yeah, first of all is what is sustainable transport? Sustainable transport, this is from Wikipedia, so I hope it's a good definition, refers to the broad subject of transport that is sustainable in the sense of social, environmental, and climate impacts. This includes the vehicles used, the source of energy, and the infrastructure to accommodate the transport. And we'll go into all three of those things in a minute. In Ireland, the department that mostly deals with sustainable transport is the Department of Transport, which makes sense. So the vehicles, this is the first part. This refers to your cars, your bikes, your trains, your boats, your planes, your lorries, whatever, your feet. The most common form of transport is cars. Most cars, which are powered by fossil fuels, emit harmful gases such as nitrogen oxides and sulfur oxides into the air. There's been more of a push recently for alternative transport, such as cycling or walking and opting for public transport over cars. While public transport like buses still emit these harmful gases, having one bus over multiple cars significantly reduces the amount of these gases produced. The next part is the sources of energy. So while a lot of transport still heavily relies on fossil fuels for power, there are now more alternative options than ever before. The main example is the rise in popularity of electric and hybrid cars, which produce far fewer emissions than traditionally oil or gas powered cars. However, this isn't the only alternative on the market, as cars powered by renewable sources such as hydrogen, biodiesel, steam, kinetics, and heat are all being explored. And then the infrastructure. This is in reference to increasing the amount of bus lanes, cycle lanes, and pedestrian footpaths across the country. Having more frequent and accessible public transport routes, particularly in rural areas where it may be scarce, and the provision of rentable bikes at bike shelters in more cities and bike-friendly zones to increase bike usage in these areas. The infrastructure is equally as important as the energy sources and the vehicles themselves in ensuring that our transport systems remain sustainable into the future. So now I'm going to look briefly at what is being done. So first of all, we're going to look globally. In France, there's an effort to lead by example and walk the talk on the implementation on the Paris Agreement. The French government have announced an increase in fossil fuel tax in late 2017, along with rebates for buying electrical vehicles. In Norway, the Norwegian government has focused most of its efforts on promoting alternative energy sources in transport, with generous incentives for electric vehicles like zero import, VAT and road tax, toll-free travel for plug-in cars, publicly financed charging stations, so on and so forth. And Luxembourg went basic and just went all the way. The government opted to invest in modes of transport that will hopefully reduce the use of cars, making all trains, trams, and buses completely free. On a national level, the government has pledged to bring 1,000 electric buses to the streets by 2030. The government has also committed to getting 700,000 plus electric vehicles on Ireland's roads by 2030 and are working on building the infrastructure necessary to support this ambition. And the Comhra Nog National Executive, which I sit on, have been working on making a public transport more affordable for young people by pushing for the introduction of a card that can grant people aged 15 to 24 a discount on public transport. And then more locally in Monaghan, Monaghan County Council's website gomonaghan.ie provides information about the various activities and programs which are going on in Monaghan County, which promote the idea of sustainable travel. This includes their rural transport service, their walking and cycling strategy, and a detailed list of the walking and cycling trails in Monaghan, showing the trail name, type, length, and location. So what can you do? If you live close to the place you're traveling to, consider walking or cycling instead of driving. Use whatever public transport is available to you, including school buses. If buying a vehicle anytime soon, consider investing in a more environmentally friendly, sustainable, and renewable energy source over the fossil fuels, and encourage friends and family to also use more sustainable transport in their day-to-day lives. Thank you for listening.
That's brilliant, Ronan. Thanks so much. And yeah, it's all about the little things that we can do ourselves, and to try and work with that. But obviously you have to have the government putting in supports for individuals to actually be able to do it. Like what Luxembourg has done is amazing.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't.
And it shows that it can be done.
It can be done. Yeah, it can be done if the right people are in place to kind of be brave enough to kind of go for it, isn't it?
Exactly.
Very good. Okay. So we're going to move on to Gabia now. So Gabia, do you want to try and share your screen?
Yeah, no problem. Can everyone see that all right? Yeah.
Yeah, we can.
Perfect. Oh my god, I just skipped around completely. So I'll be talking about eco-friendly changes that teenagers can make to benefit the environment. So firstly, we've got toothbrushes, which is pretty obvious. So we all use our toothbrush every day. So if you make a change from a plastic toothbrush to a bamboo toothbrush, it creates 18 times less plastic waste, as they are biodegradable, unlike plastic ones which stay in landfill and emit harmful gases. They have the exact same effect on your teeth as plastic toothbrushes. There's no difference in them, except they are more eco-friendly. Another pro of bamboo toothbrushes is that they are antimicrobial, which means there is no fear of harmful bacteria growing on a toothbrush, unlike a plastic toothbrush, which means there could be harmful bacteria growing on it right now. And the prices for the bamboo toothbrushes aren't that different from plastic ones. Few are more expensive, but this is the price you have to pay. So in Boots, they range from like €3 to €5, or you can get two for $7.50. Mr. Price has some for $2.50, and Earthmother.ie has some for $3.75. Straws. A lot of people last summer heard of Save the Turtles. So by making a change from a single-use plastic straw to a metal straw, you can reduce the amount of plastic entering the ocean by 4%, which doesn't seem like a lot, but when it's 900,000, I think, tons a year go in, or every second, something like that, I'm not sure, it does make a difference. You can also use bamboo straws other than metal straws, but they are harder to clean, which means they are more prone to buildup of bacteria. Most metal straws come with a brush to clean and the inside with, and some come with bags to keep them in. So if you want to travel, you can take a metal toothbrush with you, not metal toothbrush, metal straw with you anywhere. And Amazon has some for $1.29. Marks and Spencer's has 6 for €10, and you can get them in most grocery shops for pretty cheap. Bags, pretty obvious one. By using an eco-friendly bag, you save around 100 to 700 plastic bags a year, depending on how much you do shop. Eco-friendly bags include tote bags and bags for life, and canvas bags and all those. And you can get a bag for life in most shops, such as like Tesco, Dunnes Stores, Mr. Price, Lidl, most grocery shops. And a little tip is to try to keep a bag in your car if you do drive, and if not, try to have one close by. Bottles and cups, pretty obvious one as well. And by using a reusable water bottle, not only are you saving money, you're also saving the environment. You don't have to keep buying plastic water bottles and, you know, all those. And usually in most cafes, if you bring in your own reusable cup, you get money off, if it's 25 cents or whatever. And if you do get a reusable metal water bottle, you can keep your water or whatever drink you have in your water bottle cold for up to 24 hours. They are available online, a range of prices, and in most grocery shops. And cafes usually have cups that you can buy from them for around €6, €7. It really depends on the cafe. Some other changes you can make would be an eco-friendly phone case, which is a whole lot better than your plastic one. It works the exact same, still like protects your phone, no problem. and my favorite brand to buy from is Pila Case. You can support your charities that do ocean cleanups and beach cleanups. If you can't go to some, you can donate to them or whatever. You can join your local tidy towns, which they could always use an extra set of hands to help clean up the town. You can try reduce your meat intake to once or twice a week, or whatever you feel is manageable. You can try buy secondhand clothes where possible, such as thrift shops. I know they're quite big at the moment. You can try your best to recycle anything you do use that isn't reusable, such as like a plastic water bottle. You can try recycle that. And when you are shopping, try to encourage your family to buy loose fruit and veg. Thank you.
Cool, thanks so much, Gabia. Yeah, I only seen the bamboo toothbrushes there recently, so they seem to be a new thing. And like you say, like there's so much benefits from using those ones. So next time I'm buying a toothbrush, I'll go for that one. So and I didn't know about the phone cases. Yeah, so there's lots.
Phone right now. They're very pretty.
Oh, that's cool. That's really nice. Very good. Okay, so there's lots that we can be doing, and it was great to have all those examples there for us. So we will go to Jamie now. So Jamie, if you want to share your screen. Thanks very much, Gabia.
I is able to see that all right there?
Yep, we can see it.
Yep, awesome. So yeah, my name is Jamie, and today I'm going to be talking about climate organizations and SDGs, which are Sustainable Development Goals. So you have, if you've been involved in any form of organization, youth group, youth work, anything at all, you've probably dealt with the climate before. So you have Fridays for Future, which is the international movement set up by Greta Thunberg, the climate activist. We have Fridays for Future all over Ireland, and then we have a national branch as well. There is Extinction Rebellion, which might take a bit more of a physical approach to things. Antashka is the governing body that run tidy towns. Scouting Ireland, of course, deal a lot with sustainability. ISSU, Irish Second Level Students Union, have sustainability working groups. I've been on 2 of those working groups, which we've organized sustainability events and rewriting the sustainable curriculum into the second level curriculums. SSUNI is Secondary Schools Union of Northern Ireland, so that's just the ISSU in the north, so it's the equivalent. Froga are a youth group which have dealt with climate a lot, of course, Corley and Oak, that's why we're here today. The National Youth Council of Ireland also does a lot of work, especially with the SDGs, which we'll be bringing up later on. EYP is European Youth Parliament, and they usually have a sustainability or a climate kind of group that they do model United Nations with. And then you have, of course, Angashka and the Pope John Paul II Award, and then all your other youth awards. They can tie in with Scouting Ireland and the Girl Guides, and they can give you opportunities to do sustainability projects and environment projects as well. So this is not an exhaustive list. There's many, many more, but I can't fit them all into one slide. But if you've ever been involved in a youth group, your youth group has probably also dealt with climate, whether you've been involved directly or not. This is just some screenshots, some examples of climate strikes and climate organizations. So in the top picture here, we see, the youth of our community are coming out and striking. Maybe not physically at the minute due to COVID-19, but they are striking online, and we're still able to make a difference. You see this young child here is maybe only 8, 9, or 10 years old, and they're out, they're making a difference, and they're protesting in front of our government buildings to ensure change is made. Next picture along is, the next 2 pictures along actually are from our Fridays for Future group in Monaghan, which I helped co-found with another Corley member, Amlam. As you can see, there are 2 of our online digital strikes. We founded it in May 2020 when we couldn't be out protesting in the streets due to the restrictions, but we were able to continue online. Down on the bottom 2, the first one on the left there, that is Listen to the Kids Festival that I was called into kind of co-chair last minute, might have been maybe 2 weeks ago. And Listen to the Kids is a festival it's happening throughout the year, and it's an international festival. So you have kids there from Hong Kong, from India, from Pakistan, from all over Europe, Asia, America. And they are all between the ages of, I think, maybe 7 and 13. So these are all young climate activists. It's run by these two lovely wee girls up in the top corner there. They are only, I think, 7 and 8, but they have already done so much, and they were so amazing. And it's amazing to see the youth of our, the really young people in our community making such a big difference. And it's just really amazing to see. And then that last picture over at the side was the ISSU Debate Your Decision Makers event. So that was taking place over the Easter holidays. That was the Ulster group there, but the way it worked is we had like workshops. It was a 2-day event, and we had loads of workshops, and then on the second day we got all our TDs and decision makers in Cavan, Monaghan, Donegal, and Northern Ireland all together, and we asked all of them questions based on sustainability, the climate, and a range of other issues as well, education as well. So I'd like to talk a bit about sustainable development and how it ties into Fridays for Future and all the other climate organizations. So sustainable development is the economic and social development without the depletion of natural resources. So for example, reduction in wooden waste by recycling wooden pallets to make reusable wooden products such as toothbrushes and pens, etc. Just like Gabia talked about a couple of minutes ago. So sustainable development is reusing things, reducing things, and recycling things. So you would have learned that in national school, the 3 R's of the climate and recycling. The UN has issued 17 Sustainable Development Goals, and they are a set of targets to help us achieve 3 extraordinary things by 2030: to end extreme poverty, fight inequality and justice, and this is where I work mostly, in the fixed climate change section. So out of the 17 goals, there's a couple of them set aside specifically to deal with the climate. So the SDGs are literally humanity's to-do list for a sustainable planet and a clear roadmap for a better future. So this is what you can do to help out. You can check out that globalgoals.org website for more information and resources. You can get involved with the ISSU and other climate organizations. I used this for an ISSU presentation, so that's why it says SSU there. But you can use it for Fridays for Future, or you can get involved with any organization that you believe is going to make a change. And you can focus on sustainability and then specifically on climate issues as well. You can bring the SDGs to your next student council meeting, and then you can see how you can implement them into your school life, and then you can make your school a more sustainable one. And then if you're in any local groups such as Tidy Towns, Scouts, Guides, you can see how you use the SDGs to make a difference and educate more people on sustainable development. So this is the 17 SDGs, just to finish up. These are the 17 goals, they reach from no poverty and gender equality and all that. Then the ones that I specifically look at are 13, 14, 15, and 17. These are climate action, life below water, and life on land, and then partnership for the goals. So when it comes to climate action, this is what Fridays for Future looks at specifically. We are able to narrow down climate issues in our community, and we're able to see what actions need to be done to conquer them. Then when it comes to life below water, that's obviously pollution, maybe toxic waste being thrown into the oceans and our waterways, and all the plastic that ends up in the sea and everything. And as Gabby said earlier on, we need to save the turtles. Then we have life on land, which is just exact equivalent of life below water, but on land. So we have to, look at our sustainable waste and where we're putting it, to make sure we're not putting it into the ground. If we can reuse and recycle, we're not creating more CO2 by burning, our waste and everything. We need to put it to good use, and we need to limit our waste altogether. And then, of course, 17. Goal number 17 is partnership for all the goals. It ties in with every section of the SDGs. It's to ensure that our approach to the SDGs and to be able to achieve all these things by 2030, we need to form relationships with each other, be that Monaghan Comhraile and Cavan Comhraile, or be it Ireland and the UK, or Europe and America. We need to, on an international basis, unite to be able to talk about the SDGs and be able to solve them as well. So that's everything I have, I think.
Thanks very much, Jamie. And it just shows you, like, even that, you know, you might say, oh, like, you know, what can I do, or what difference can I do? But as you say, those two little girls have come up with a campaign. So, you know, you can have an impact on the environment, or you can make change. You know, there's no point in limiting yourself, that there can be change made, even with the FFF. The Fridays for Futures, like, you know, that it's making an impact, and it's having an impact on all of your lives as young people, to feel like you're kind of making a difference. Has it?
Absolutely, for me, yeah, it's
Mm-hmm.
the amount of things that I'm involved with at the minute. I probably shouldn't be involved with so many things, but might be that healthy for me. But I get good boosts of you know, being able to step back and to see the work that we're all doing as a whole. We're able to see the change we're making, you know, and it's great to see, especially in COVID-19, 500, 600 faces on a Zoom call, and be able to say these 500 people, these 500 young people are shaping our future, and these ones are going to be the ones in office that are going to make the change in a couple of years' time as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And like that, then you're all coming together with a common goal, like even as you were saying in the last piece, that it's countries that need to come together, communities that need to come together. We all need to try and work in partnership with each other to make a difference. Yeah. Okay, well, thank you so much, guys, for your input. So there's lots there for people to go away and think about, little changes that they can make, whether it's their toothbrush, how they get to school, maybe changing something different about their transport in the week. They're all the small changes that we can make a difference. So if people want to go to earthday.org, that's the website for World Earth Day. There's lots of events happening. Globalgoals.org is one you mentioned, Jamie. The Fridays for Future as well. So there's and then was Go Monaghan, wasn't it, Ronan, for yourself? Yeah. So there's lots of different and like all, as you were saying, all the different organizations that you can get yourself involved with as well. So there's lots out there for young people to educate themselves about. So happy World Earth Day, and thank you very much for all of you contributing, and we will leave it there and talk to you again soon. Bye.
Thanks.